Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today you join me as I go to pick up a Jaguar X Type that I bought for just £500. What could possibly go wrong? I honestly don't know why I do it to myself. A £500 Jaguar X Type is just going to end in tears, isn't it? It can't not. But at the same time, how can I say no to a £500 Jag? Jag. You've got to really loosen your bottom jaw, and then you can say it like an American. Jaguar. Apart from the price, which on the face of it does sound low, I don't know any other details. But it's a bit of fun, isn't it? I can't really go too far wrong with this. If it's a complete scrapper, then I should get £350, maybe £400 because the price of scrap's gone up. On the other hand, if it's nice, it might be worth 1,500 quid, £2,000. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It isn't going to be nice, is it? Oh, there's one now. I've had lots of these cars over the years, and I know that if they're unloved, they can be a bit of a money pit. They suffer badly from rust, particularly on the sills. If it's a diesel, they can have injector issues, EGR issues, turbo issues, issues with the clutch and dual mass flywheel. I'm hoping it's not a diesel. I'm hoping it's a 3-litre all-wheel drive V6 estate, sovereign spec, but what am I saying? It's 500 quid, it can't be, can it? I'm kind of excited in a funny sort of way. So, shall we put ourselves out of our misery and go and have a look? I'll see you there. Well, what have we got here? We've got a flat tyre for a start. I can see some cobwebs, but that's a sport model. There's no chrome on it, it's all colour keyed. That looks really smart actually. Why am I beeping? Shut up. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, it's got the sport alloys. It looks far better being a sport than a standard SE. It's a Birmingham car. Oh. It's a Birmingham car, but the front plate says National Crash Repair Centre. That's not good, is it? It means it's had a whack. Let's get a bit more information about it then. So, I'm going to do a vehicle history check using Car Vertical. Now, I always use these. It's really important that you do one of these before you buy a vehicle. I'm doing it here, of course, just to get a bit more information about the car. So all you need to do is go to carvertical.com, type in the vehicle reg, which is Bravo Lima 05 Yankee Foxtrot Yankee Yiffy. It's a Birmingham car when it was new. You can imagine, can't you? Alright, just bought a new Jag X Type. Which model do you think that is then? Let's do a check first. I think that could be a 2.5 V6 automatic. If that's the case, I'm going to get that through an MOT, regardless of cost. Which is stupid, isn't it? But I just like them. Or even better, it could be a 3-litre. Car Vertical now is just checking database in dozens of countries. If you want to do one of these checks, by the way, click the link below in the video description and use the promo code HIGHPEAK and you'll get 10% off each and every check that you do. It's not expensive, it only takes a couple of minutes and it might prevent you buying a car with a skeleton in its closet. Right, it's ready. No mileage fraud was disclosed by the report, it's never been stolen, never been involved in any recorded accidents, and there's no outstanding finance. It was manufactured in 2005 and registered in June 2005. It had a private plate at some point. It's changed owner. Let's see when the last MOT was done then and what it needed. So the last MOT was done in September 21 and it passed, but it advised on rear brake discs worn or pitted but not seriously weakened. Well, there's no mention of rust there, is there? You'd have thought that would have advised on rusty sills or something, wouldn't you, if it had a major rust problem? This might pass an MOT, you know. I don't want to get carried away, but it might do. At its last MOT, it had only done 73,000 miles. Low mileage, isn't it, for one of these? The previous owner's done around 2,000 or 3,000 miles a year, so it's not high. Which model is it then? Right down at the bottom, it tells us what the model is. Approximate market value when the company's a seller is £1,589. So it okay, right. At least it's petrol. It's a 2.1 litre V6. It says here it's a 2 litre, but it's actually a 2080cc or something like that. So it's a 2.1 litre V6 petrol from 2005 and it's a manual. That's a pity. Never really liked the manual X types. The auto's a bit better. Let's go and have a look then, shall we? Obviously, because there's no MOT, I can't drive it on the roads. But we'll start it up and take a look around it. Okay, let's have a look then, shall we? Now, obviously there's no MOT, so I can't take it out on the road, but I could take it around here for a quick drive. So we've got 2 keys. Neither of which work. This is all a bit scabby. So we've got a flat tyre there. And yeah, those brake discs do look a bit ropey. That is a Auto Green Sport Chaser, a brand I've never heard of. But the bodywork looks quite tidy, doesn't it? Take that key out before I lose it. Quite tidy, actually. It's not too scabby, is it? Up front we've got another Auto Green Sport Chaser on about 4mm of tread. Little scuff there. The liner there's a bit loose. Well, this is the plate I was telling you about. So, Nationwide Crash Repair Centre. That would tell me then that it's had a whack on the front end if they've replaced the plate from that centre. But, I mean, those panel gaps, they look okay, don't they? It's not tighter at one end than the other. What about this side? That is a bit, actually, isn't it? It's a bit tighter down there than it is up there. In fact, yeah, massively. The headlamps look original, though. Yeah, that's been painted. You can see where it's starting to peel. So it's had a minor non-recorded or unrecorded nudge at the front. Those headlamps could buff back, actually. We've got another Auto Green there with 4 or 5mm on. Have we got a matching set of Auto Greens? We do. Look at that. Auto Green me up. Little scuff there on the wheel arch, but that's not neither here nor there. Some marks there where it's driven past a hedge, but they would come off. The front discs don't look much better than the back, do they? A little bit of corrosion there. From the back, it's all quite tidy, isn't it? Quite original. We've got its original Stratstone plate. Stratstone Jag. That's starting to peel there, and that looks a bit kind of like orange peel, doesn't it? So I'd guess that this back bumper's been painted as well. It started to peel. So it's had a bit of paint, but it was 500 quid, who cares? This needs a good old clean round here. Been parked under a tree by the looks of it. Well, that's not bad, is it? Inside, what have we got? Original mats. It's all quite clean, isn't it? Full leather interior, not cloth. We've got electric seats. This is quite a good spec, actually. Oh, bugger. Need to replace the key battery, don't we? So we've got, yes, didn't go out. We've got an engine light. Classic FM, look at that. So we've got classic FM. So I think we now know that the owner was elderly. So 5-speed manual. The clutch feels quite nice. It's nice and light. We've got an engine light on. Feels a little bit lumpy, actually. What else can I tell you? No heated seats, but we do have powerful mirrors. That beep is coming from the Nokia cradle there. Somebody's had a Nokia 3210 by the looks of it. I love stuff like this. That's an original factory thing, isn't it? Have we got any service history? Let's have a look. Service portfolio, there we go. I love Jags. So we've got some receipts here for tyres from Staley Bridge. Not too far away. Cover the guy's name there. This is the Jagman Limited, Northwest XJ Services. I've never heard of those, in Wigan. It might be quite handy to get in touch with. It was serviced by them at 82,000 miles. It's a cheap service, isn't it? Imagine it was 15 years ago. Do we have any service? Oh, look at this. So it was serviced by Stratstone in Stourbridge at 2,000 miles. Then that place in Wigan at 8,000 miles. Then Stratstone Volvo in Preston at 14. Then Minster Jag in Preston at 19. Then Premier Automotive at 32, 39, 44, 49, 54. They're only in Duckingfield, so that's not far away. 54, 58, 63 in 2017 at 63. And it's only done 75 right now. So it was last serviced, okay, it was 5 years ago, but it was only serviced 12,000 miles ago. Still got the original radio code. Well, that's good to see, isn't it? Just had a thought, I was going to take this around the car park, but I've got a flat tyre. I don't want to do it any damage. I'd hate to damage my auto green. That actually, now it's warmed up, sounds quite sweet. Turn off the fan a second. You can hear this Jaguar roar. Oh no, that does actually still feel a bit lumpy. I wonder what that is. I'll have to get that code read. Has it ever been smoked in? Let's have a look. My guess is not, because it smells quite clean. Look at that. I mean, I know you can't feel this, but if you feel the steering wheel, it feels like a fresh car. It doesn't feel all worn and abused. I'm quite impressed with this. It's even got the Volvo Stratstone tax disc holder. It's very clean back there. It's probably never been sat in. In here we've got a million air fresheners and a charger for a, at this rate it's probably a Motorola. TomTom. Oh yes. Bring your own sat nav. Well, this isn't a bad car, is it? It's set to Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Okay, we can change that. Right, let's try the air conditioning. Will this work on a, how old is it now? 18-year-old Jaguar? Come on. No heated seats, a bit of a pity. No, that's warm. Yeah, that's, it's like a hairdryer actually. What do you want for 500 quid though? Oh, hang on a minute, that's cold. Ah, that works. We've got functioning air conditioning. Let me open the rest of the doors then. And then we shall continue our tour. There's no rust around the door seals. Just needs a bit of a clean, that's all. Oh yeah, proper clean. It's been parked under a tree. Bit rusty. The actual boot floor isn't rusty, it's just the old tyre arm thing. Space saver, Pirelli there. Now the 2.1 petrol only has one exhaust, I think. Whereas the 2.5 and the 3 litre have twin exhausts. Yeah. We've got rear parking sensors. It's a good option. Well, there's not much else to tell you, apart from the fact it's quite a clean car, this. How can you get all this for 500 quid? Doesn't make sense, does it? Shouldn't say that, shouldn't jinx it, because now it's going to take £1,000 to get through an MOT, isn't it? And you've got, which I always quite liked, a little curry hook there. Right, well, I think that's all I can show you. So what I'm going to do is take it down to my mechanics, get them to check it over and see if it'll pass an MOT. So I'll see you in a couple of days. Alright guys, how's it going? Well, we're back in the woods, and if the nursery rhyme's right, if you go down to the woods today, you're in for a big surprise. Actually, this wasn't a big surprise, was it? The Jaguar has been roundly condemned. I thought that might be the case. Still got a bit of a misfire. I took this down to my mechanics and they've done a job sheet. So I left it there for an MOT and a PDI, so basically a pre-delivery inspection, a minor oil service and just a check over. The check over that they've done was quite thorough and it isn't good news. It's ironic then that I'm filming this on Halloween because it does get quite scary, this. Firstly, a coolant leak. That could be solved. The gearbox is noisy. That could be something major, couldn't it? Or a big expensive job anyway. We've got a bad wheel bearing. Most frightening of all though is the underneath. It is as rotten as a bear. It requires 2 sills, which is quite an expensive job. Something else that's excessively corroded are both rear springs. Then the sump plug can't be removed, so it needed a new sump. Someone's obviously ground that off. The offside front wheel nut's missing. Offside front ball joint dust cover's split. That's a minor job really. Both rear trailing arm bushes have excessive play. The fuel pipes are excessively corroded. Both rear suspension arms are excessively corroded. And there's no locking wheel nut. In addition to that, we've got an engine light on and a misfire. It's quite lumpy, that. I expect that would be cured with a fresh set of spark plugs and maybe a coil pack. Oh, and also we've got a puncture or a puncture repair needed. So, unfortunately, it isn't worth repairing, and I'm gutted. Because here we have a car that's only done 75,000 miles, it's got 2 keys, and it's quite a nice spec. Sounds good too. But, unfortunately, it just isn't worth repairing. To do all those jobs, it'd probably cost me about £1,500. Add that to the £500 that I've paid for this car, it would owe me £2,000. And really, it's only worth 15 or 2 grand tops. I think what I'm going to do then is put it on eBay as a donor vehicle and try and sell it spares or repairs. Try and get my £500 back. You'd have thought somebody that wants the interior would give you a few £100 at least. So I guess in bits I'll get my £500 back. Who knows? I think what I'll do then, because I haven't even driven this car yet, is just drive it down this private lane before anybody tries reporting me. Private lane onto the car park at the bottom and then advertise its spares. I've not really driven this car before. All right. What a pity. Slightly clunky suspension. You can hear it knocking. Wants to pull what? You can hear the wheel bearing now, or maybe the gearbox. There's a slight knock from the rear as well. There's a bit of a hum there actually. I thought of a better idea for this car. I've just seen 5 lads go past on scrambler bikes with no number plates, probably stolen, not wearing any helmets, with balaclavas on. Should use this car to sort of knock them all off it, shouldn't I really? That'd be a better use. Save the taxpayers some money as well, wouldn't it? Right, well on that slightly depressing note, I think that's about it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Leave the link below. And yeah, cheers guys. Even the parking sensors work. What a shame. Right, ciao, adios, I'm done.